It's the summer of 1998, and I'm embarking on my junior year of college abroad on a summer language immersion in Italy. And it is amazing. So here I am with my friend Ryan at Pompeii, and here's Bjork playing in a piazza in a small seaside town. Um, so I go home on break between the summer and the fall when I'm supposed to return to Italy for a semester. And my parents had recently purchased one of these machines. And after a run, I decided to try it out and I felt something give in my back. And I ended up on the floor in pain. But I'm young and I'm relatively fit and healthy. So I just think it's going to go away. And I get on a plane to Florence for the semester. And Florence is miserable. And it's amazing at the same time, but I'm sleeping on the floor and I'm taking muscle relaxers and painkillers. And 3 months later, I leave Florence in tears, not just because of the pain, but also because of the strong connection I feel to the place. And on the plane, I remember standing up as soon as the fasten seatbelt sign went off because I was in so much pain. And I paced the plane for the entire 6 hours home. When I did arrive home on Christmas break, I got some chiropractic and some physical therapy, and I also got an MRI, and that confirmed what I suspected. I had a herniated disc in my L5S1 disc. They said I needed surgery, and I said I'm going to London instead. So I didn't want to let this plan ruin my year abroad, and I went to a theater program in London, which was very active, yet I had to lay on the floor or stand up for the entire 3 months. And I also got a hard back brace that was made of plastic and then it was really uncomfortable. I got 3 steroid injections into my spine with a painful epidural needle. And I was going to tough it out and bum around Europe until my summer program in Italy again. But after a miserable rain-filled week in Paris, I decided I couldn't take this anymore and I wasn't going to make it another week. I needed to go home. And that summer, I saw a neurosurgeon who said I needed surgery too. And I scheduled surgery for late August, but first I decided to go back to Italy for another painful and amazing summer, sleeping on the ground, speaking Italian, eating amazing Italian food, and exploring the Amalfi Coast. So finally, I return home to face the music and have surgery. And after surgery, I noticed immediately that my pain, my sciatic pain was gone, but I still was sore and, I did all the PT, I got the meds. Things should have been all better, right? Surgery equals no more pain. But that's not actually what happened. I wasn't better. I was still in lots of pain. And at the end of my senior year, despite the meds and the PT, I was miserable. But, the pain was now in different parts of my body and different parts of my back. But being the trooper I was, I decided to go to clown school, physical theater school in Northern California, where I pushed my body to its limits, which was probably a lot less than other people's limits. But here's a picture of me during the clown portion of the course. And as you can see, things feel pretty miserable. So let's fast forward now. For the next 15 years, I try everything under the sun to heal. And I give my time and my energy and my money away in hopes of looking for a cure. And I end up feeling very frustrated when all of these results that were promised didn't actually work. So Western medicine failed me, and Chinese medicine failed me and alternative medicine failed me. And I was at the end of my rope and I was almost out of hope. So it was this point that I decided to take a step back and abandon my search and stop expecting someone else to fix me. And I turned inward. So with the help of a health coach, I took stock of what was working and what wasn't. And also around this time, I heard an interview with a comedian on the radio, and he was talking about his bad back and how it affected his performance. And my ears perked up. And he said that just reading this book alone healed him. So, this was a guy that was not trying to sell something. He was just a comedian talking about his life. And I decided to check out the book. I read it, and reading the book alone did not heal me. But some of the concepts seemed interesting and plausible. The book talked about how acute pain heals when the injury heals, but once that 6-ish week of window of time passes and the pain becomes chronic, it is no longer a result of a physical or structural issue. It talked a lot about how repressed emotions like anger and fear were the main cause of chronic pain, but I had a real structural physical problem, that herniated disc and stuff. I didn't see how fixing my emotions could solve that. So calling bullshit, I put the book aside and continue on with my outside in approach and some inside out pieces as well. But I'm still looking for this missing piece. And also around this time, I began to hear some echoes of what was being presented in this book through other experts in different areas besides pain. I read Gabor Mate's book, When the Body Says No. I heard Stephen Porges speak on polyvagal theory. I listened to Bessel van der Kolk talk about the body keeps the score. And I also heard talks from meditation experts, epigenetics folks about generational trauma. And they were all saying the same thing, basically. Trauma is held in the body. Unexpressed emotions are held in the body. Stress is held in the body. And all these things will try to get our attention that something needs to change through various symptoms, including pain, IBS, skin conditions, and more. Well, I had all of those things in my life. And then I heard neuroscientists like Lorimer Moseley talk about the nervous system's involvement with pain and learning pain. And I learned that pain is a fear response. With prolonged pain, the nervous system gets trained to see the world around you as a threat and responds with pain. And then you start fearing the pain itself, exacerbating the problem. But this kind of pain is actually a false alarm. And neuroscience now backs this up. So at this point, it all clicked into place. There's nothing physically wrong with me. My nervous system is just stuck in a pain loop and doesn't feel safe enough to get out. And I have to stop seeing myself as a problem to fix and tune into what my body needs to feel safe. I have the power to change this. And I did. After nearly 20 years, I broke the cycle and eventually became pain-free. And it shouldn't take anyone 20 years to recover from chronic pain. My journey was not for nothing, though. I went through all I went through so that you don't have to. I'm Katie Kaufmann. I'm a national board certified health and wellness coach and a chronic pain recovery guide. I'm passionate about empowering people to tap into their own body wisdom, to discover the root cause of their pain, disrupt the pain fear cycle, and retrain their nervous systems to feel safe again. My clients learn to see pain in a new way. They begin to take control of their own healing with knowledge and felt sense that they can reverse their symptoms. They go from feeling helpless and hopeless and expecting the worst for their futures to imagining doing things that bring them joy that they never thought they could do again. They begin to see a life beyond pain. And step by step, they make that life a reality. They learn to care for themselves with compassion, implement healing lifestyle habits, build support networks, and practice the tools to help them rewire their neural pathways. This work doesn't just change their symptoms, it changes so much more. In this process, they become more of who they were meant to be. The reduction of pain is just a side effect. And I currently lead groups and have one-on-one intensive sessions with individuals experiencing chronic pain. If you or someone you know could use my help, please reach out. You can recover from chronic pain. I'm living proof. You don't have to go through it alone. As your recovery guide, I'm here to help you find your own unique trail to recovery. I've been down all the paths. I know the terrain. I will walk it with you until you can navigate your own way.